Live from downtown Oklahoma City, Oklahoma's own News 9 starts now.
6 a.m. on a busy Thursday morning as we say good morning, everyone. Boy, the weather is the big story this morning.
Yeah, wild night, overnight, damp roads this morning. We had a jackknife semi earlier on I-40. That's been cleared, but the big story is going to be damp roadways, especially because we haven't seen rain in so long.
Round number 2 is coming. The timeline is the question. Let's get over to Lacie Swope in the Bob Mills Weather Center. Lacie, we have our news trackers out, and You're tracking that timeline.
Absolutely. We're looking for more rain to move back in. It'll come through. It'll be noisy, more thunderstorms, maybe some wind and hail with this next round. I think we see the drizzle like we're seeing this morning, some light patchy fog through about midday. Lunchtime, rain chances up to 100%, and guys, statewide soaker is headed our way. We had damaging storms yesterday. Let me show you some of the pictures of what we saw. Anywhere from quarter to golf ball to up to just under softball size hail in parts of the state. Now this is from Tuttle. Check out that shot. Thank you, Emily, for sending that. Had golf ball size hail down in Noble. This was close to tennis ball at times. And then we had a lot of quarter size hail across the Oklahoma City metro. So David Payne and our team of trackers were bringing you those live updates. And as you're heading out this morning, nothing is severe, but storm chances, well, they do go back up. And by 10 o'clock, some of these storms, they could be severe. We'll track them. Our storm trackers will be out once again. The upper level wave still extends all the way back to Arizona. So while we're in a little bit of a lull, a little bit of a break across the state, this all feels back in by the time we get into your afternoon. We do have a little drizzle going on right now. It's patchy, some patchy fog as well. And our rain and storm chances, they're going up from Elmer City down to Sulphur, down to Velma Alma. It's a pretty intense storm. A lot of lightning. Could have some pea-size hail with that. Some drizzle back into western Oklahoma, and everything you're seeing out west eventually fills back in. So roads are damp. Megan will have a full traffic update for you coming up. We're at 62 degrees. More on your statewide timeline in just a minute.
Lines right now here at 6 a.m. We know one person is shot outside a marijuana dispensary on the northwest side of the metro. It was about 8:30 last night. Here was the scene right at Northwest 10th in Portland. Police tell News 9 one person was shot and taken to the hospital. No name or condition have been released. Officers also still looking for a suspect. It's a developing story. Look for more information right here on News 9. Also, a heartbreaking investigation on the northeast side of the metro. Police say a 2-year-old little girl was killed by the family dog. Police responded to the home at Northeast 23rd and Prospect late Tuesday night. A 911 caller told police the little girl was not breathing. Police say the toddler was found at the home, mauled by one of the 4 dogs inside the home. The Department of Crimes Against Children Division is now investigating. At last check, no arrests have been made.
A man is arrested accused of trying to outrun drug agents in Cleveland County. It happened yesterday morning. Pretty wild scene on I-35 near the Purcell exit. OHP says the suspect actually sideswiped a semi, forcing the semi off the highway where it rolled and ended up right here. The semi driver is in the hospital. And then the suspect's car, as you can see right here, came to rest in a field. And troopers say the guy then tried to run away.
After the suspect fled on foot, we were involved in investigating the collision with the semi-truck, and then we were involved with our aviation unit locating the suspect by airplane.
The suspect was later found and arrested a short distance away from the crash. His name has not been released.
A 19-year-old Afghan national who helped his brother-in-law plan a foiled Election Day terror plot on behalf of ISIS is sentenced to 15 years in prison. We first brought you this story last year after the FBI arrested Abdullah Zada and Nasir Tawedi in Oklahoma, and that was days before the election. Investigators say the two bought guns and ammunition in order to carry out a mass casualty attack. Both pleaded guilty to terrorism-related charges. After that 15-year sentence, Zada will be deported to Afghanistan. Tawedi's sentencing hasn't yet been scheduled. 6:04 your time right now. Let's get a check of traffic as we turn to Megan Gold. She's standing by. Megan, damp roadways out there.
And really important to reduce the speed. We already had a jackknife semi earlier this morning, several hours ago. We don't know for sure that was weather related, but anytime we have crashes and we have wet roadways, kind of assume it probably contributed. So this morning, as you head out, we're still waiting on kind of our main batch of rain and storms. That arrives later this morning into the afternoon. So dealing with just a little bit of drizzle here in the metro. You'll drive in and out of it. Also a little bit of light fog. You'll notice that as well. We've got our crews out on the roads ready to respond to any accidents. We just want you to be safe as you hit the roads. Here's a look at visibility. Really no widespread visibility issues right now. And again, the bulk of the rain and thunderstorms down in southern Oklahoma and off into eastern Oklahoma. Just a little bit of drizzle here in the metro. Here's the Broadway extension. You can see kind of the sheen on the roadways there. I-40 and Air Depot looking off to the east. So metro wide, we do have damp to wet roadways. It's important that you just reduce the speed and extra space between you and the car in front of you. Out on the west side, I-40 and Council. No crashes as of right now. I'll let you know if that changes here in just a bit.
Even though the federal government is back open, more fallout from the shutdown. And now Oklahoma Department of Human Services is extending a pause on subsidies for the child care program. And it's leaving hundreds of families and child care centers across the state in limbo. News 9's Brianna Brown joins us now with the latest on the child care funding crisis. This is impacting so many families. Brianna, what did you learn?
Yes, the Oklahoma Department of Human Services says the freeze of its child care subsidy program will continue as the agency assesses the impact of the recent government shutdown. Now, this affects financial assistance for new applications and renewals for children aged 6 and older. Now, according to OKDHS, about 2,300 families each month were supported by these subsidies in the past year. And this month, about 400 families are due for renewal and are impacted. Now at St. Luke's Children's Center in Oklahoma City, about 25% of the children served rely on this daycare subsidy program.
Childcare is the workforce behind the workforce. People can't go to work if they don't have a space to put their children, and high quality care really allows parents to go to work, do their jobs, and be safe.
Now, subsidies for infants, toddlers, and preschool-age children are not affected, and the department did not have a timeline on when this freeze of subsidies will be lifted. Live in Oklahoma City, Brianna Brown, Oklahoma's Own News 9.
Brianna, thanks so much. We should mention that freeze affects new applications and renewals for children ages 6 and older. We're
certainly following the latest on that story this morning. We're watching, wondering when the next round of storms is coming through. It's coming. It's on its way. Lacie Swopes in the Bob Mills Weather Center. Hey, Lacie.
Hey, good morning, guys. Those storms were rocking and rolling through the overnight. They were so loud, so noisy. Now it's pretty quiet. We do have thunderstorms down near Sulphur and Ardmore this morning. But we have drizzle in the metro, some light fog at times. Roadways are definitely damp. The next round of rain, it's going to make its way in through mid-morning. We'll give you the precise timeline statewide in full weather. What about the severe threat again today and more rain for your weekend? I'll have your 9-day in just a few minutes.
Also coming up, the state reports 2 cases of an equine herpes that are linked to an event in Guthrie. In just a few minutes, the symptoms that vets say you should look out for as more events are being canceled.
And the bill to release the Epstein files is signed into law. Plus, recalled baby formula is still on some store shelves. Your top national stories are after the break.
We're at a spot in Oklahoma now where we've never had more deer than we have right now.
Yes.
That's some good news. Hey, this week's episode of Beyond the Forecast, we're talking about the deer rut and how the drought, the heat wave may have impacted the deer's movement this year. So our Lacie Swope sat down with Dallas Barber. He's a big game biologist with the Wildlife Department. You don't want to miss it. It's Beyond the Forecast. It drops at 3 p.m. today.
And weather is such a big factor when it comes to hunting and how big game move and everything.
And how the rut kind of takes off and when that happens, it's all impacted by the loss of daylight. Some people think it's due to the weather. He gets into that. He breaks down some of the myths. He also just goes into what to expect for the hunting season. And the bottom line is, from what he was saying, the population is thriving. Management is important, but it's up to you and your land of how you want to manage deer. And he goes into some of the best practices is. It's great info.
It's so interesting to hear some older hunters say, man, when I was growing up, we didn't have any deer. If you saw one deer,
you were lucky.
You were lucky. So just how things have changed here in Oklahoma.
Absolutely. And now we have hundreds of thousands of them.
Yes.
So,
Yes, I saw 3 killed on the side of I-35 coming into work this morning.
And that's always a sad commentary.
I know.
Yeah,
and that's just got to be so careful.
You got to be careful, and it's the time of year where they're just running around like crazy. So we'll talk more about what to expect for the weekend because deer gun season is open.
Saturday, yeah.
Yes, right now we have some fog out there, a little drizzle. It's completely different in the evening and overnight. Did y'all get sleep? Are you rested?
I did.
You look pretty bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
I felt bad for the folks that had the big hail, though.
Right.
We had like really tiny ones in my house.
Some folks were really hurting due to this. Look at that video.
Hear it, right?
Yeah. Check out some of the hail. I'm talking damaging hail up to the north of Stillwater, down to the south from Noble, back in the west metro. We had really big hail. Storm trackers were out in full force. Jeremy, Val, and Hank, David and the team were live bringing you updates as these storms were rolling on through. It's November in Oklahoma, and we can get severe weather all 12 months of the year. Let me show you a shot of some of the biggest hail that we picked up, and I'll tell you just sneak peek of your bus stop forecast. We don't have severe weather right now. I'll get to that in a second. There's the biggest picture, or the hail picture that shows the biggest hailstone that we have seen going through all your pics and your reports. Keep them coming. That is officially 3.5-inch diameter hail. Okay, that classifies as just under softball size, and that did a lot of damage around Morrison, north of Stillwater. Piedmont had quarter to golf ball size hail. We had a lot of quarters. The storms really kicked up their heels. The one that went off near Yukon, back up to Piedmont, back up to Guthrie, and then up to Stillwater and to the north, had storms that weren't severe, just north of downtown. And some of these storms, many of them were not severe last night, and today, many of the storms will not be severe. Now, currently, we don't have any thunderstorms in the metro, so for the bus stoppers, it looks good. Some light drizzle. Temps are in the 60s. We stay in the 60s all day today. We picked up just over 1/4 inch so far at Will Rogers. You get north of that, though, there were many areas that picked up 1 inch to 1.5 inches. In western Oklahoma, you've been dry. That will change as we go through the day today. Look at the rain going on in Texas, back across all of New Mexico, snow in the high elevations. Pacific moisture is streaming in. So even though we're in a break right now and the radar is pretty quiet for northern and western Oklahoma, that will change as we go through the next several hours. There is some patchy drizzle. It's kind of fine, light mist going on. Asher, a few showers there. There's a thunderstorm just south of Elmer City, and that is making its way to the northeast. I think this will go just north of Sulphur, but there's thunderstorms back near Velma Alma and Comanche that are kind of come into Murray County. The heavy downpours and intense lightning there. Some drizzle back to the west, and the rain is filling in our Oklahoma and Texas panhandles. That continues to progress to the east. Waves of rain is what we're expecting. Sunrise officially at 7:11 this morning. 62 degrees is the temperature. Roads are damp. Still quite a bit of ponding in the parking lots and on the curbs, things like that, where we had all the heavy rain overnight. Temperatures are in the 50s, the lower mid 60s, and we've got temperatures that'll stay in the 60s into the afternoon. So no big warm up expected. We're cloudy, we're socked in, and a 100% chance of rain will take you into the afternoon. Thank you, control room, putting up the shots from our news trackers. They are out. There is a crash, I-44 down near 240. Lex is on that. Megan will have your full traffic update coming up. But again, we're not tracking any severe weather or thunderstorms in the metro. Few thunderstorms to the south. After 10 a.m., we may have a few more severe storms. So as you're making your plans for today, watch how radar just lights up. This is future next gen by 11 o'clock. Rain coming in from the southwest, lifting northward. It's heavy in spots, some intense lightning. Could have some gusty winds within this, and maybe some hail in some of the heavier cores. That works its way to the east. It's raining through 4 o'clock here, 6 p.m. into your Thursday. It's not really until just after 10 that this completely winds down and completely ends across the region. So as far as the hail goes, that's a big question after I'm showing you all those pictures and reports. We still have enough instability. It's kind of a rich tropical-like moisture that's in place. We still could have some hail today. Nickel dime, quarter-size hail, some golf balls. I think if we see the larger hail, most of that would be down to the southeast, but it's not out of the question with a few of these isolated cores. As far as the tornado risk, it is very low today, but it's not completely zero. So between 1 o'clock and 6 p.m., some thunderstorms that try to move through the southeast could have and produce a brief spin up. Trackers will be out today. Again, David and the team will bring you updates. Everything winds down overnight tonight, and we dry it out. So how much rain, additional rain? I think the western portions of the state pick up another 1/2 inch. Some areas an inch, inch and a half, where you have some of those stronger storms. There'll be bullseyes that pick up 1/4 inch, and then just county to your north or to your west, you may see some higher totals. That's kind of how this will extend through the day. We're dry Friday and Saturday. We're in the 60s, beautiful November weather. Another round of rain late Sunday into Monday. We're chilly for Thanksgiving, heading into Black Friday, guys. It does look cold someday to bring some isolated snowflakes by late Black Friday. More on that coming up.
Attention on that one, Lacie. All right. Also, we've got our attention on the roadways out by I-44. Megan's watching things. We do have one wreck, and it looks like it's kind of slowing down some traffic.
It is, and this is going to be our second wreck of the morning. If we can take Lex Stanfield's shot, I want to show you exactly what his shot looks like right now. This is going to be in the eastbound lanes of I-44, just south of I-240 at Southwest 74th. The backup now is several miles long, and he's reporting that we've got a car that has crashed into a fence. So may just be one car involved, but regardless, it is causing a significant backup. Take you back to the map. We'll show you this. This is going to be right near the airport, so a heads up if you're traveling to Will Rogers this morning. Remember, the roads, they're damp, they're wet, so it's possible that weather did contribute to that. There's Will Rogers again, just south of I-240 in the eastbound lanes, also the northbound lanes at Southwest 74th, and this is the view from South 96th looking off to the north. Traffic nearly at a standstill. So if that is a part of your morning commute, give yourself a few extra minutes as you'll run into that. I'll have another update for you here in a few minutes.
Megan, thank you. Your time now 6:18. Some national headlines for you this morning. We can tell you President Trump signs a bill into law requiring the Justice Department to release all of its files on convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. We also know that this passed through the chambers, both the Senate and the House, on Tuesday. It was signed yesterday. The Justice Department now has 30 days to release the files.
The FDA says it's receiving reports that a recalled product, the ByHeart infant formula, linked to at least 31 cases of infant botulism, is still being found on shelves in multiple states. The agency says it's working with retailers to ensure an effective recall. This outbreak is still being investigated.
All right, heads up, baseball fans. Guess what? You'll soon be able to watch baseball games on Netflix?
Whoa.
Major League Baseball has inked a 3-year agreement that would allow Netflix to air live baseball coverage for the first time. This comes after what the MLB says was its most watched postseason in 8 years.
This will be interesting. You know, when Netflix had the live fight, they had buffering issues because so many people were watching it.
You're right.
I wanted to fight my TV at that point. So we'll be watching to see if the baseball turns out better.
And congratulations, the price is going up again, right? That's what we expect. Every weekend, Toby Rowland and John Holcomb deliver all the big sports headlines on the Sunday Night Sports Blitz, but they're also bringing you something that no one else can, insight and perspective as announcers for OU and OSU football. Well, now John and Toby are walking us through what game day is like for them, plus how it impacts the stories they tell on TV. See our special report, Game Day Behind the Mic. It's tonight at 10 p.m.
Breaking news, a little slow going on the interstate. This is I-44 right by the airport, right by OCCC. This is our Lex Stanfield there. This is the northbound lane. So if you're coming from the Tuttle or Newcastle area north, slow going. One car looks like is hit the cable barrier, stuck there on the right side of your screen. Megan has on that links to the traffic a little further south. I think we can show that. And you'll see at 96th Street, which is further south than this location. Look at the backup. It's bad on a good day. Now we got a little fog settling in. It looks like the roads have been wet. And we've got that issue just a couple of miles to the north. There's the map. And so you can see the slowdown there, I-44 all the way to 104th Street. We're watching it. Megan, thanks for making that map for us, too. We appreciate it.
Well, the Oklahoma City Thunder beat Russell Westbrook and the Sacramento Kings for the third time this season. Final score 113-99.
And they had the new City jerseys on. Our Steve McGehee was there. He has the story from Paycom.
Oklahoma City, despite the win, they have looked better this year. By no means was this a masterpiece last night, according to head coach Mark Daignault. The turnovers were high for Oklahoma City Thunder standards, and the three-point shooting was low, and they still win by 14 points.
It was just kind of out of rhythm offensive night. We didn't shoot it great and complete a lot of plays. We had some well-intentioned plays that turned into clunky turnovers, but the steadiness of the defense allowed us to control a game that was in the trenches. We won the first 3 quarters despite not having our fastball offensively, and that's what good defense does for you.
This homestand was too quick, just one game. They're back on the road. They play at Utah tomorrow night in Salt Lake City, their second game in NBA Cup play. We will be there for that. From Paycom Center, Steve McGehee, Oklahoma's own.
Thunder showing up last night in multiple ways. Loud last night. And Lacie, you gave us more than enough warning. We knew it was coming, and it was so loud it was still startling.
It's been a while, though. It's been a long time since we've had those thunderstorms roll on through. Had some very big hail as well. Trackers were out. Nothing is severe this morning. As you're hitting the roadways, they are damp, but we do have thunderstorms that are kicking up their heels. We're watching the storm coming into Joy down near Washita, Whitneywood, Davis, headed towards Sulphur. Some pea-sized hail is possible with that as it's crossing I-35 and 77, making its way to the east. Some drizzle and some fog in the metro, but rain chances bump up by midday, back up to 100%. Statewide rain is moving back in. We'll time it all out. We're going to talk much more about how much more rain we're seeing and any severe risks for your Thursday. It's all after this break. Don't go anywhere.
You're watching Oklahoma's Own News 9 this morning.
6:30, good morning, Oklahoma. You're looking live right now at I-44. There's been a crash in the northbound lanes right at Southwest 74th, basically right across from OCCC. The car that you can see in the middle of your screen, they're trying to get it on the tow truck. It hit the cable barrier, and it's causing some slowdowns, and the backup is only growing, unfortunately. It's at least about 3 miles back past Southwest 119th at this point as traffic tries to come into the city. They are trying to get this thing out of the way and open those lanes entirely back up and clear that backlog. But this is the live look right now. Kind of slow going. Maybe in the next 10 minutes it'll open things back up, but we are following that on the roads this morning.
A little bit of fog that's settled in across the metro. I don't know if it's as thick as it was when we came in early this morning, but the roads have been wet. Just allow a little extra time out there.
There's more rain coming.
That's right. Let's talk to Lacie Swope about it. She's in the Bob Mills Weather Center. Lacie, what's the timeline here?
Well, right now, little drizzle in the metro. We have thunderstorms we're tracking, and they're getting stronger down to the south. I'll show you that in a second. Rain chances do bump up about midday, or mid-morning, 9, 10, 11 a.m., up to 100% by the time we get to lunchtime, and it looks wet all afternoon into the evening. And again, a chance for maybe some strong to severe storms. We had multiple severe storms yesterday. Let me show you some of the hail pictures that we had coming in from our storm trackers. Val was out, Hank was out, Jeremy was out, along with, of course, David and the team, bringing you live updates. Multiple storms producing golf ball size hail. There's a lot of damage this morning to roofs, to vehicles down in Noble, up in Piedmont, Yukon, and especially Morrison, where we had over baseball size hail. I'll show you more of these pictures coming up and more from our storm trackers. A lot of hail reports right through central Oklahoma. Now this morning, we have one storm system that is pulsing up down near Davis, and the rain with this system extends way back into portions of Arizona. So we've got a lot of water headed our way today. Right now, it's just the drizzle for your morning drive, and there's the strongest storm in the state, south of Whitneywood, coming over Davis, Joy, heading up towards Roth. I think the strongest part of the storm will go north of Sulphur, but it does have the potential to produce pea-sized hail and 40 to 45 mile per hour winds. Meanwhile, the metro, it's drizzle that we're seeing. We'll time out that statewide rain for today. More on the severe threats. It's coming up. I know you guys have more at the desk. Back to you.
Your time now, 6:32. Let's get over to meteorologist Megan Gold. She's watching the roads and that crash on I-44. Megan?
Field that they have loaded that car onto the tow truck. So hopefully here within the next 5 minutes, we'll start to see some improvement in the backup. Here's his shot there. You can see law enforcement still working that scene and doing a great job here on this Thursday morning. The damp, wet roads have already given us 2 wrecks, and we just want you to be safe as you get going here this morning. Here's the view from the ODOT camera. I-44 at South 96, looking off to the north. Speeds down to about 15 to 20 miles per hour, and the backup extends several miles. Let me show this to you on the map. This is going to be right near Will Rogers World Airport, and it's also right near OCCC, just south of I-240. In the north are the eastbound lanes of I-44 at Southwest 74th, and there's the backup as it extends all the way down to Mid-American Christian University. There's the Broadway extension. It looks good. Starting to see slow-going spots on I-35. Otherwise, doing just fine. Be safe as you hit the roads. Guys, back to you.
All right, Megan, thanks for the update there. Now, we know the name of that armed suspect that was shot and killed by police in the metro on the northwest side. Officers say that suspect came at them with a machete. Police say it was early Tuesday morning. The suspect, Albert Benson, attacked a man with a machete here at Northwest 10th and Council. Police say the man refused to drop the weapon and then charged at police. Police first used less lethal weapons. That didn't work, and that's when they shot and killed the man. 3 officers are on routine paid leave while an investigation is underway. A big barrel racing event is now canceled at Lacie E. That's because the State Department of Ag confirms 2 cases of equine herpes virus at the Big Horse Championship there in Guthrie. News 9 has learned the horses were at a barrel racing event at Lacie E Arena earlier this week. Department of Ag officials say the horse virus is highly contagious and potentially deadly. Veterinarians tell us owners need to look for a fever, nasal discharge, and coughing from their animals.
The biggest thing that we recommend watching for is a fever. Other signs are any nasal discharge, coughing, lethargy, or any incoordination of the hind limbs.
Out of abundance of caution, the rest of the event at Lacie E has been canceled, as well as other horse events across Oklahoma.
An Oklahoma County jury finds Leroy Glaze.
I'll go ahead and take it. Yeah, all right. An Oklahoma County jury finds a man, Leroy Glaze, guilty of first-degree murder for killing a woman after a breakup. Police say the victim, Taryn Hall, was found shot inside a truck. This was right outside a CVS right at Northwest 39th in Ann Arbor. Prosecutors say Glaze shot the woman during an argument the two were having while they were driving her car. A jury has recommended a life sentence for Glaze. His formal sentencing will be next month. Colby?
3 Oklahoma tribes file a federal lawsuit against Governor Kevin Stitt over hunting licenses. This after the governor appointed a special prosecutor to work cases for those who hunt without a license, including tribal citizens. The lawsuit claims the governor doesn't have that authority and it violates tribal sovereignty.
AAA says more than 696,000 Oklahomans will travel 50 miles or more for this Thanksgiving. More than 90% of Oklahomans will drive to their destination. AAA says 81 million Americans will travel nationwide for the Thanksgiving holiday.
A new partnership could bring more tourism money to Oklahoma City.
Rival soccer clubs in Edmond and Oklahoma City are now merging their academy programs starting next fall. News 9's Matt McCabe explains.
2 rivals in Oklahoma City's soccer scene are meeting back on the pitch.
We've got these 5 brand new fields that just got built and opened in the last 2 years.
The city has invested millions to build more and better fields.
This is a game changer because we play a lot of teams that come in from out of state.
Now Stephen Phillips and Michael Moritz have a plan to put the Metro deeper in the spotlight.
Our relationship dates back 10 or 15 years working together.
The North OKC Soccer Club and Edmond Soccer Club will be fully merging its academy system.
There's 3 nonprofit boards that had to come together to make this happen as well.
The change will put kids 10 years old and younger under the same Oklahoma Energy FC Academy system as older kids. And together, the clubs expect that means bigger tournaments here in the Metro.
That's going to bring in tourism. It's going to bring in teams that come and play here.
It's also a chance to get an edge against markets like Dallas or as far away as California.
And every single one of their programs has one club from top to bottom. And so this unifies us within our Metroplex to have one club, one development system, one group of minds working together, all for the purpose of the kids.
New fields and a new player development system puts Oklahoma City's soccer culture in a new light.
Matt McCabe, Oklahoma Zone, News 9.
All right. How do you feel about that, soccer mom?
There you go. It doesn't affect my kids. That's just for the younger ones.
Yeah.
But I think it's great. If you can unify and make Oklahoma City an even stronger soccer pipeline, it's good for everybody.
Yeah, and think about it. They could be playing in the new multi-purpose, stadium coming up here in just a couple years.
It's true.
Oh, here
we'll
we go.
find out.
All right, they're starting them younger and younger, it seems like, Lacie.
Yeah, definitely. You're starting to see the little babies out there in diapers running around, toddling around, bouncing a ball off their head. Yeah, all the things. Guys, this morning here at the Bob Mills Weather Center, we're tracking thunderstorms to the south. They're picking up in intensity. More storms are taking off in the far south and southwest. It's lifting to the north. We'll time it all out. We have some drizzle in the metro, some light fog. It's all about the storms going on and more development as we go through the next few hours. Rain chances back up to 100%. How much more rain? What about severe threats? It's coming up.
An imprisoned Oklahoma woman is fighting for freedom, asking for a reduced sentence under the new Oklahoma Survivors Act. After the break, a local nonprofit's efforts to help her fight for justice.
All right, 6:42. It is a Thursday morning. We're trying to get you to Friday, and things have been changing out there, Lacie.
So today we have more rain in the forecast. Yesterday, you heard those thunderstorms into the evening, the overnight through central Oklahoma. Some of our western counties, guys, have been bone dry.
Yeah.
But that all changes. Today, statewide rain is headed our way. It's kind of a washout once we get through lunchtime, all afternoon, evening, waves of rain.
I'll take my nap during that time.
Perfect. Y'all slept through the thunderstorms, right? Because the thunderstorms are soothing for most folks.
Until it got really loud at my house. Yeah, the hail, and I thought, oh gosh, how big is the hail out there?
It was severe. There were several severe storms that rolled on through, and let me show you, our storm trackers were out. So David had our team out. He was live on the air. We had Val out. We had Hank out. Jeremy Carter was out. Look how big the hail got. And that's north of Stillwater.
That's what I was afraid of.
Exactly. That's what you start to picture, right? Larger than baseball size hail, just under softball north of near Morrison. The rest of the state, the hail wasn't that big, but many areas picked up quarters, golf ball size hail. It was heavy, helping to shred more of the leaves off the trees and doing damage to vehicles, some busted windows, some roof damage as well. These storms were so electric overnight. Many areas picked up extremely intense lightning and loud thunder. In fact, look at the lightning taking you back into the southwest and then coming through central Oklahoma. At one point, the total there, 15,000 lightning strikes. We had power outages off and on, kind of fluctuating through the night. Most of that has been restored, not seeing any reports of outages now, and those severe storms have all since weakened. But I do want to show you some of the biggest hailstones that we have received pictures from. Now, Val got some of the hail north of Stillwater. We were showing you that in the video. But look at this hailstone from Morrison, 3.5 inches. That is very damaging and devastating hail. Busted out some windows, lots of hail on the ground. Of course, the majority of it wasn't that big. That was some of the larger stones. But we had hail damage in Yukon, in Piedmont, in Tuttle, and we picked up great rains with the storms, but they came with a price. I mentioned west, you've been dry. Over 1/4 inch of rain in Oklahoma City, and then some of the swaths picked up 1 inch to 1.5 inches where those thunderstorms were more intense. And then you'd get down to like downtown, the airport, 1/4 inch versus 1.5 inches up into Edmond. Now we have a little patchy drizzle, but it all fills back in. The rain, the upper level waves still a couple of states away, which means it rains off and on until we get into this evening and tonight. Now we're seeing new storms taking off. We're watching them closely. These could kick up their heels over the next couple of hours. Not severe, and they're a far cry from severe at the moment, but from Ouachita back up to Hart and Fitzhugh, thunderstorm there has some pea-sized hail possibly with it. Now in the Oklahoma City metro, some light drizzle in spots, no thunderstorms. We do have the hail detector showing a little pea-sized hail with that cell. We're also watching one near Ratliff City back to Duncan, and this will try to continue to just fill on in across the south. New cell going up south of Hollis, and the bulk of the rain's coming back into the Texas and Oklahoma panhandle. So a little bit of a break, which actually is timing out with your morning drive, which is great news. The roadways are still damp from the rain overnight. We're at 62 on our Lucky Star Skycam network, and we'll try to go from the 50s and 60s into the mid-upper 60s, but no major warm-up because we're just cloudy. And once the rain begins, we fall to our dew point and we just sit there into the afternoon and evening. So plan for a cool day, but above average. I mean, typically we'd be in the 50s for highs. We're about 10 degrees above average with a south wind. Thunderstorm chances up to 100%, expecting numerous storms to take off and kind of fill in. A few of these could pulse up to be severe. It's still a low threat, but not out of the question that some of these stronger cells produce some golf ball size hail, up to 60-mile-an-hour winds. Some data suggests as those storms roll in around midday, they're pretty windy. And then also there is a very low tornado threat in portions of the southeast. I'll show you in a minute. Here's what we're expecting radar to do. Continue to light up to the south, and then here's about 10, 11 a.m. Thunderstorms coming back into the metro. It's raining out west, raining across the panhandle. That wall of water just moves through the afternoon. We may get some breaks again where we dry out for a while, and then radar will fill back into the afternoon, evening, and it just moves on by. The whole thing ends just after 10 p.m. I think by midnight, 1, 2 o'clock, this is out of here for your Friday. So let's talk hail. After showing you what we had, I think quarter-size hail on the high end. Some of the storms isolated could produce golf balls. Where we have the chance for some larger hail, at least more widespread, would be down to the southeast. But again, trackers are going to be out. We'll bring you updates through the day, and especially after we get past lunchtime, because the main upper level forcing will be coming out. We'll have the chance for these storms to rotate from Sulphur to Ardmore down to Clayton and Atoka, and there is a very low tornado threat in the southeast. It's not zero, it is very low. And then the rain moves out tonight. So additional rainfall, another 1/4 inch to an inch in the metro in isolated spots where you get heavier storms where the yellow is, and that will kind of shift around 1 to maybe locally 2 more inches of rain. So currently roads right now are wet. Rain moves back in midday. It is soggy. We're dry Friday and Saturday, and our next round, guys, which is heavy rain with it, Sunday into Monday, and it still looks dry for Thanksgiving. Back to you.
Lacie, thank you. A Norman mother serving a life sentence for killing her boyfriend in 2020 is now fighting for her freedom. Lisa Monahan joins us live this morning to explain how she's now asking the court to reconsider her sentence under the Oklahoma Survivors Act. Lisa?
Well, Colby, Kiebrana Boyd, who goes by Kiki, claims she acted in self-defense. 8 months pregnant at the time and trying to get out of their 7-year abusive relationship, she says Lewis Williams choked her, dragged her through the house, and stabbed her in the stomach before she fought back. Now, attorneys with the Oklahoma Appleseed Center filed Boyd's petition arguing she feared for her life and her unborn child at the time of the crime. That petition outlined 7 years of abuse beginning back in 2014 and included evidence of drag marks, cuts, and bruises on Boyd's neck the night of the killing. Now, the Survivors Act allows courts to take domestic abuse into consideration in criminal cases involving abuse survivors. Director of Oklahoma Appleseed visited Boyd just a few weeks ago and says the Survivors Act was exactly what this was created for.
She is hopeful. She's very hopeful and prayerful that this will be successful. All she wants to do is reunite with her kids and her baby that got taken.
Now, in response, the Cleveland County District Attorney says, quote, the record showed that Boyd was the aggressor and that the homicide was neither justified nor eligible for relief under the Survivors Act. Prosecutors also arguing there's no evidence to support the abuse history outlined in Boyd's application, which requests a reduced sentence of 25 years or less. The attorneys, though, are hoping that she is released with time served. She is the 6th woman to file under the Survivors Act since it took effect in 2024. Colby.
Thank you. So far under the act, there has only been one successful resentencing. It was Lisa Moss, who was released in Seminole County last year after 34 years in prison for killing her abusive husband.
It is 6:50 on a Thursday morning. Let's switch gears, talk about that morning drive. Traffic is picking up, getting a little heavy across the metro.
It is, and it is all about the damp and the wet roadways. Give yourself a few extra minutes. Still watching for some visibility issues in spots off to the east of I-35. There is a little bit of fog that has developed, but here in the metro, it is very, very kind of thin and light and not a huge deal. The bigger deal is just the fact that the roads are wet. So few extra minutes out the door, extra space between you and the car in front of you. Notice the morning drive. It is picking up, as Robin mentioned, and so is the congestion out on the roadways as folks are kind of reducing that speed. I-35 starting to get a little slow going as you're headed into Oklahoma City. I-40 out on the west side, it looks good. So I'll show you the big picture here. If you were with us a few minutes ago, that crash I-44 at Southwest 74th, it is cleared. Still a little slow going as that backup starts to clear, but that is no longer an issue. Just be safe as you hit the roads. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Join us for the Coca-Cola Porch at 9 a.m. OU Health is holding a free car safety check event today. Did you know half of all car seats are installed incorrectly? Where they're live at 9 a.m. They're going to help folks get it in the car the exact way needed.
An artist and a building owner are coming together to honor an El Reno police officer killed on the job last month. Donna Sturman owns a business near the intersection where Sergeant Thomas Duran was hit and killed. Well, Sturman asked El Reno artist Sue Bear to come up with a great design to memorialize Duran.
We're going to kind of keep the same stars and stripes momentum, and then we'll have a big badge on the middle. Every day could be their last day. We don't all go to work thinking that, you know, so we really need to give more of a heartfelt thanks to them for what they do every day.
Bear plans to start the mural next week. You can donate if you'd like. They have set up a GoFundMe for donations. We have a link at news9.com.
Boy, painting outside, she's definitely going to be watching that forecast over the next few days as they get started on that.
And today looks like a wet day. We already kind of have the drizzle around this morning. We have several dry days on your 9-day. This is kind of storm number 1, another one for your weekend. We are tracking some pretty intense thunderstorms right now down in the southern portion of our area, down near Sulphur and Davis, guys. These storms aren't severe, but they're ramping up, especially the one headed towards Velma Alma. Might have some pea-sized hail with it, some drizzle in the metro. Here's your 9-day forecast. The rain moves back in across the state. It looks like a statewide soaker into the midday and afternoon. That winds down tonight. And we've got dry weather Friday. Saturday's beautiful. Next round makes its way in Sunday into Monday. It looks wet. And by the end of your 9-day, there's Thanksgiving, there's Black Friday. It turns chilly, and some data's cold enough by late Friday for a few snowflakes. That looks like a major winter storm.
Goodness.
It's nothing like that, but yeah, it's going to turn a lot colder.
You got our attention. Got our attention. Megan, you're watching the roads. How was that commute this morning?
Well, the crash that we had in the eastbound lanes of I-44 Southwest 74th, it is cleared, but there is still some slow going spots there as kind of that backup is starting to clear. But as folks are trying to kind of heed the warning that the roads are damp and wet, we are slow going at times in many spots. So I think we've kind of gotten out of the swing of things of driving in kind of the wetter conditions. So please be safe as you hit the roads. Extra space between you and the car in front of you, and not a bad idea to go under the speed limit.
Yeah, get there safely.
Please.
I'm still hung up on a potential White Friday.
Yeah.
Can you guys imagine?
I said snowflakes. I did not say a White Friday.
That's what I heard.
That's what we want to hear.
Have a good day.